The dog's roar echoed across the training ground like thunder, scattering birds from the nearby trees. Officers froze, gripping their leashes, as the massive German shepherd named Brutus lunged again, teeth bared, eyes wild with a kind of pain no one could understand. Trainers called him untouchable. Some whispered he was cursed. But no one knew the truth, that Brutus wasn't dangerous by nature, he was broken by something he could not forget. And on that bright, ordinary morning, when the sun warmed the dusty yard, no one imagined that the one who would change everything wasn't a trained officer or a professional handler, but a fragile little girl with trembling hands and a quiet heart. If you believe in kindness, healing, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our W Insights. It truly helps this channel keep spreading stories that matter. The K-9 division of Maplewood Police Department was known for its discipline. But Brutus had become their greatest failure. Once a top-tier tracking dog, he had shut down after a tragic operation where he lost his partner. Since that day, he snapped at anyone who came close. His food bowl had to be slid across the floor. His cage had dents from where he hurled himself against it. Officer training schedules were rearranged just to keep recruits away from him. Every time someone walked past his enclosure, all they could feel was a storm of anger and hurt radiating from him. Brutus had given up on the world, and the world, slowly, was giving up on him. Except for one man, Sergeant Malik Harding. He was the head of K-9 operations, a calm, rugged officer with years of experience. But even he struggled with Brutus. Every morning Malik stood outside the dog's cage, talking to him softly, letting him know he wasn't alone. Brutus never responded. His ears stayed flat. His muscles stayed rigid. His eyes stayed full of a war no one else could see. Malik fought the quiet dread that Brutus might never heal, and the department had already hinted they might have to retire the dog permanently. That word broke Malik more than he let on. On the outskirts of Maplewood lived a girl named Serena Weller. She was 7, with warm brown eyes and a soft, gentle way of observing the world. Serena had been quiet since her mother passed away the previous year. She rarely spoke outside of school. Her father, Noah, tried everything to bring back her spark: new books, new toys, trips to the park, but nothing reached her. She drifted through her days like a shadow of who she used to be. She was hurting, silently, the way Brutus was hurting loudly. Their worlds were about to collide. Noah worked as a civilian maintenance technician at the police facility, and on weekends he sometimes brought Serena along because she felt calmer around animals. She liked sitting near the horses and feeding stray cats that wandered near the fence. But she had never noticed Brutus until the day his roar tore through the air like a warning shot. Serena froze, gripping her father's hand as officers scrambled. Brutus had broken his water bucket, thrashing and snarling as if trying to fight invisible memories. Serena didn't scream. She didn't run. Instead, she watched him with a deep sadness, recognizing something familiar, the look of someone who had lost too much. The next week, Serena returned with her father, and again she heard Brutus's low growl from a distance. Curiosity pulled her forward. She stepped closer to his enclosure while Noah spoke to Malik nearby. Brutus glared, his ears folding sharply. Any adult would have stepped back. Serena didn't. She simply stood there, her small hands clasped in front of her, eyes soft and understanding. She whispered, not loudly enough for the men to hear, "It's okay. I get scared too." Brutus didn't move, but his growl quieted for the briefest moment. Malik noticed. His eyebrows lifted slightly. Maybe it was coincidence, he thought. Or maybe something else. Serena came again the following weekend, and this time she brought something with her, a crumpled lavender ribbon that once belonged to her mother. She tied it carefully around the metal bars of Brutus's enclosure. The dog watched her, confused, nose twitching at the faint scent of floral perfume. Serena sat on the ground a few feet away, humming softly as sunlight filtered between the trees. Malik watched from a distance, tense yet intrigued. Brutus did not lunge. He did not growl. He just stared at the girl, his breathing steadying as though the storm inside him paused to listen. Over the next few days, a small miracle unfolded. Serena would sit by his cage, telling him stories, not loud, not demanding, just soft, broken pieces of her heart that somehow reached his. She told him she missed her mother. She told him she felt alone too. She told him that sometimes the world hurt in ways you couldn't explain. And Brutus, for the first time since his partner died, edged closer to the front of the cage. Malik's breath caught the day Brutus pressed his forehead against the bars, just inches from Serena's tiny hand. The moment that shocked everyone came on a sunlit Saturday morning. Serena walked up to Brutus's cage as usual. Malik stood beside her father, both men watching with protective caution. Without hesitation, Serena slid her hand slowly through the bars, not fast, not bold, but with a gentle certainty that made Malik want to shout for her to stop. Brutus stiffened. The entire yard seemed to freeze. Then, as if the world exhaled at once, the wild, untouchable dog lowered his head and placed it softly into her palm. The silence that followed was so deep it felt sacred. Officers stared from every corner. Noah covered his mouth in disbelief. Malik felt tears prick behind his eyes. In that moment, Brutus was not a monster. He was just a wounded soul finally finding someone who could hear the parts of him no one else listened to. From that day on, Brutus changed. His eyes softened. His growls lessened. He allowed Malik to approach again. Training sessions resumed slowly. And Serena? She bloomed. The spark in her returned, glowing brighter every time she saw Brutus. They healed each other in ways only hearts familiar with loss could understand. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our W Insights. Your support truly keeps these meaningful stories alive.